Hey everybody, it's been quite a long time, but it's time finally for episode 4 of Lansblackbag. What could I have in my bag today? Well, it just so happens to be something relevant since it came out just a couple of weeks ago. For those of you who know me, you know that I'm a big fan of sandbox style RPGs, and no game personified that better than the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. But that's not what I'm pulling out of my bag today because, well, I didn't pull out of my bag. So what could have come out of you know what, there's no point in, suspending any kind of disbelief or anything like that. Obviously what I have in here is the collector's edition of Fallout New Vegas. I have been anticipating this game for months and months because I knew for a fact that when this game would be released, that Obsidian was going to take it so many new levels, was going to take it to a completely new stretch far beyond what Fallout 3 accomplished, and even further beyond what Oblivion accomplished, because I am one of the few people who think Oblivion is superior to Fallout 3. But that's neither here nor there. Well, this game sucks. I am dead serious. That wasn't what you were expecting, was it? Well, for those of you who were fortunate enough to not have wasted the extra 20 bucks on this piece of crap, what you get inside of it is a little book, gives you a little backstory right before the prologue of the game, on the great cons, on Benny and all that good stuff. Some stupid little poker chips, which, for 20 bucks more, you'd think they could have at least made them out of clay, but instead they're crappy kind of material that you get out of any poker set at Walmart. This stupid stainless steel replica of the platinum chip. The game itself, which I could argue is worth far less than the $60. A deck of stupid playing cards that goes along with their stupid Caravan card game. And for those of you who say I don't understand it, I do. I got the stupid trophy/achievement that comes with it, and it's not a hard game to figure out. It's just stupid in practice. The only thing that I can argue that would be worthwhile out of this would be the making of DVD/Blu-ray. I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff, director's cut kind of content, extra stuff. I'm a big fan of that kind of stuff, but for this game, I would argue if it's worth it or not, because that's not worth the 20 extra bucks. That's not worth the 40 extra bucks that I would argue that this game would be worth. Anyways, where to begin? Oh my god. I guess I'll start with the good things, but then again, I can't really do the good without the bad, so for the good things, I will discuss the bad that goes along with it. First and foremost, combat is a lot better. Specifically the iron sights they implemented, they actually took a good tip from a lot of the feedback that they had gotten, how in Fallout 3, how you would zoom in and it would just zoom in the camera a little bit, or if you were using the hunting rifle, it would zoom in the camera a lot. Bottom line is that iron sights were completely non-existent in Fallout 3, which, it's one of the welcome additions to New Vegas that doesn't have a counterpoint. So combat is superior. That goes along with the whole concept that VATS, you're no longer invincible. Thank God, because sitting there and going toe-to-toe with a Deathclaw as you're just mauling it with the terrible shotgun in Fallout 3, it was entertaining, but you were immortal in that game. If you had Grim Reaper sprint and killed things continuously, you could not die. Very hard difficulty or not. So, the new combat system is good. The companion system is a lot better. To a point. It's a lot easier to control them. Everybody who says the companion wheel, it really gives you a lot more convenience, they're right. It's fantastically implemented. The companions themselves seem a lot better too. They all have their own, well, I think they all do. Most of them at least have a little side quest that goes along with them to power them up, to make them a little bit more your level when you're in your late 20s and level 30 and all that stuff. So the companions in this game are superior. To a point, like I said, they're just as stupid as there were in Fallout 3, even more so sometimes. I mean, I will constantly find my companions miles behind me when I'm just walking, and it has nothing to do with my speed, because this is not Oblivion where your speed is a factor. They just take off, and I will see them take off. And this has nothing to do with the nerve that goes along with your charisma. Don't be fooled. I just to experiment, I made a character that has 10 charisma, so obviously your companions have max nerve. They still take off for no reason and do their own thing. It's just ridiculous how stupid the AI in this game is. So yeah, there's one good, one bad right there. The large amount of weapons, I will say, is a good feature. To a point, because at the end of the day, you're going to be using your 10mm pistol over your 9mm. I don't care if there's a scope on your 9mm. If you're going to use a scoped weapon, you might as well use a hunting rifle or something like that. The customization is there as well. Like, you can add up to 2, maybe 3, even 4 upgrades to your weapon to give it, some night V, a scope, extended magazines, things like that. Okay. So you get the feel that you're customizing your weapons, but at the end of the day, again, it's the same weapons. You're going to have all that stuff maxed out, so there's really no feel of like you're drawing any faster or you're shooting any faster or something like that, or just things that the real world does with its guns that Fallout New Vegas doesn't really do. So yeah, the customization is there. You can add a silencer, you can add a scope, you can add all that stuff. It doesn't really change the feel of the weapons at all. The more specialized class system, I mean, obviously you don't get a class system, but the fact that you only have 15 perks now, and the fact that you cannot jack all your special stats up to 10, and you cannot jack all of your skills up to 100, that leaves a lot more room for specialization, and that goes along with the VATS lack of immortality. So there's a lot of things, especially with the new hand-to-hand unarmed perks. Unarmed is honestly, especially if you're playing hardcore mode where ammo has weight, unarmed is a serious alternative to any kind of weapon specialization or melee combat or anything like that. So, and I would argue that it's superior for those reasons alone, so you don't have to go through the busy work of getting ammo. You can just keep it repaired, especially if you get the jury rigging perk, but whatever. So the specialization is there, and I do enjoy that. That's one of the other things that was not hit or miss. The humor is good too. Honestly, this game is funnier than Fallout 3 was. There's a lot more options there if you're a fan of the old school Fallout games. Like, at the beginning of the game you can select 2 traits, and one of those traits is Wild Wasteland. One of the traits that you can choose. One of the traits is Wild Wasteland, which basically introduces a lot of Monty Python kind of stuff. The holy hand grenades, the women coming after you with rolling pins, stuff like that. So the humor is definitely superior. The voice acting is superior as well, and I'm a big voice acting nut, as everybody knows, so the voice acting is superior. However, that's going to go into a con. They have a lot of good voice acting for the major characters and even the minor characters. I mean, you have some actors like Yuri Lowenthal and Liam O'Brien. The only thing is, especially in the Brotherhood of Steel compound, it's pretty hard to take seriously when every major male except one in the Brotherhood of Steel is voiced by Yuri Lowenthal. I'm not kidding you. The Elder's voiced by him. The Head Knight is. The Head Scribe is. The only one that's not is the Head Paladin. Or the Senior Knight is. Not... whatever. So, obviously you can see it's pretty hard to take seriously when Liam O'Brien and Yuri Lowenthal make up 90% of the Caucasian male set of people. So I want to say that it's a flawless upgrade from Fallout 3, but it's not. There's less variety in the general character voice acting. And that's going to go to the bad stuff now.